Hi, what's up, YouTube? What's up? Being in shape makes you less and less insecure. But when you a fat motherfucker, you insecure all the goddamn time. Let's just be 100% real about it. My man, you that's watching, you can't sit here and tell me while you sitting down, got your laptop in your lap, or got your TV on, or you sitting at your game station, you got the ruffles on your chest and your tank top on looking all dingy and shit. You can't sit here and tell me if you have a woman or if you have a life, if you touch grass every day, you can't sit here and tell me you're not insecure. Because even as a man who was making high six figures, even as a man who had the nice house, the nice cars, the kids, the lady, all that other shit, I still had a lot of insecurities. Not because I didn't have a reason to, because if you look at my life, you'd say, damn, you don't have a reason to be insecure. Oh, but I did. Carrying a bunch of childhood trauma, the shit that happened to me that I never got addressed because I always used work to escape, you know, not always feeling good enough because it's like, damn, yeah, I got these things. I'm able to get more of these things, but you never really feel good enough. You never really feel like you can trust people. You never really feel like you can let people in because of whatever issues you haven't dealt with on top of being insecure about where you currently are. When you a fat motherfucker, I'm telling you from experience, your brain, you will allow your brain to play the craziest tricks on you. You will allow your brain to tell you things about people that's not even fucking real. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be open. I'll be a little transparent. Like, my biggest thing when I was fat, when I was like 315 pounds, anything above 230 in my eyes, I was just not where I needed to be mentally. Because I still view myself as this big guy who had to overcompensate by being funny, by buying shit, by having all these top name brands, making sure your lady had the Louis purses, making sure your kids had any and everything they wanted, just shit that really don't matter when you look at the grand scheme of things, right? And my biggest insecurity was trust. I couldn't trust anything or anybody. I only felt like I could trust myself because I would never let myself down. So the me now, if I see a red flag, not only am I gonna clock that shit and confront it because I don't mind confrontation no more, but I'm going to address that shit and expect the answer that's gonna be real. And if not, I'm just walking the fuck away. That simple. I'm not about to engage or put my energy into some shit that I don't even feel is worth my time. And that level of trust that I had back then was virtually zero. But then once you sit down and you feel good, you look good, and you do all the things you want to do, I didn't have trust in people because I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust myself to make the right decisions with what I was eating. I didn't trust myself to make the right decisions with things I needed to do that was like, oh, so important. Like, oh, guess what? My fucking health. I would honestly rather right now be $1 million in debt and have the body that I got now, because I know that with the discipline and the trust that I developed within myself, I can get out of that shit. It'll take me 3, 4, 5, 6 years with aggressive saving and doing all this stuff aggressively, but I can get that shit done versus have $30 million in the bank and be a fat ass. But the caveat to having this $30 million in the bank, I can't get in shape. I still gotta do what I do and just be content like that. And people gonna think I'm crazy. Oh, you lying? You would take the bread. If you think I'd take the bread after being on this side of a body game and being on the other side, fuck you, just like that. Because I can tell you, you appreciate this shit more. Now, guys, you will appreciate this shit more when you get it off the muscle. Hands down. No peptides, no enhancements, no performance enhancing drugs, no PEDs. I did this shit all on my own with a calorie deficit, whole foods, some creatine, protein shakes, magnesium glycinate, and some zinc. If that's not as natural as it can get, I don't know what it is. I know people out here blasting gear. I don't want none of that shit because the whole point of me getting healthy and having a great physique is to not only live a lot longer and feel better when I wake up in the morning, but it's to also be fucking attractive. Guys, I think y'all got the wrong misconception. These bitches do not like these super swole fucking bodybuilding type niggas, man. Like, think about it. Why would you want a man who can't wipe his ass? Because his lat's so fucking big. Why would you want to deal with a man who has to eat 15, 20,000 calories a day and only worry about the gym and yourself? I've seen the documentaries of Kai Green, Phil Heath, all those guys. They have to carry food with them everywhere they go, which is not a bad thing. I carry my food with me everywhere I go too, especially because I'm very strict on what I eat and when I eat. These guys got 12 packs of trays and they eating on trains. They eating everywhere they go. And then instead of spending quality time with their lady, most times they ain't even got a lady because they are so locked in on what they doing. None of that shit even matters. I couldn't do that bodybuilding shit. To me, that's just a whole nother level of vanity. And that's fine because that's what they want to do with their body. But I don't want to blast gear. I don't want to put fucking steroids into my body. I don't want to do any of those things. After that health scare I had back in 2019 with that PE, I'm hella paranoid that something else can happen and I can't control it. And I'm just walking and I'm gone. Granted, that can happen anyway. When God calls you home, that's when he calls you home. But if it's within my control, I want to live as long as I can and do it the right way. That's why it wasn't an issue for me to do this naturally, knowing that it's going to take longer. I know it'll be 3 or 4 years until I'm up at 240 pounds where I want to be. 240 pounds, but I'm fucking solid. 240 pounds at 11, 12% body fat. That's going to take years to get to. Luckily for me, I don't plan on dying that soon. And if I'm doing the things I'm doing now health-wise, I know my frame can take it. I know I can get there. I can be 43 years old, 6'2", 240 pounds, 12% body fat, got the delts to make them melts and got the obliques for the freaks. You know what I mean? Like that's something I want. But like I said, it's got to be, your why has to be bigger than just some vain shit, because I just now figured out my brain is catching up to my body and I'm starting to see shit for what it is, especially when I take a step back and just walk a little bit slower and say a little bit less. I went to the Lynch store today to get 85% chocolate because when I end this cut cycle, guys, I got my whole fucking cheat meal planned out. It's going to be 2 bars of 85% chocolate. I'm going to have 900 grams of air fried potatoes. I'm going to have 500 grams of fucking cottage cheese with salt, pepper, and little herbs and shit to go in it. Then I'm going to have me about probably a pound of lean ground beef. Or if I can't get the lean ground beef, I get some ground turkey. That's pretty lean too. And then I'm gonna get like 6 rice cakes, and I'm gonna put some peanut butter and some honey on it and some air fried peanut butter. Some peanut bananas. I know that's kind of crazy because most motherfuckers want pizza and all that other shit. But when you change your identity, guys, you ain't gonna want none of that bullshit because you know it's gonna mess up your stomach. The only thing that you really gonna want is more of the healthy shit. That's how I know my shit changed, because I don't even care for the other shit. Like, I just want more of the food that I already love that's been benefiting my body so well. And that's going to really set me back and be like, all right, cool. Now I've enjoyed this. Okay, now I'm back on the grind, because one bad meal, when you get to 10, 11% body fat and you under the weight where you want to be, one bad meal ain't gonna hurt you. But I don't really consider that a bad meal. I just consider that shit excess calories, because that's really all it is, right? But that's the meal that I got planned out. And it feels good to have that shit mapped out, because I wasn't even thinking about a fucking end cut cycle, 28 weeks ago. I wasn't thinking about none of that. I was just thinking about taking this shit day by day, right? The goal is to get 1% better every day, and you stack your days. But stop stacking your days, stack your weeks. Because once you start stacking weeks, this shit becomes so routine, you don't even look at everything the same no more. It's very, very important to understand it's okay to have empathy for the person who you were, because I can look at all of my photos in my phone and naturally feel disgusted, because it's like, ugh, damn, I was that guy. But I look at that person from a different view. Yeah, he dead and gone now, but I look at what he'd been through. I look at how insecure he was and why he didn't trust people, how that trust alienated people around him, how that trust pushed people away, the lack of trust pushed people away. And getting on this side of body game, and I like to call it body game because, you in this game forever. You hit one goal, you constantly setting another, and you constantly learning more about yourself, and it's bettering yourself, right? So I feel that my biggest insecurity was that trust factor, but now it's not even a fucking deal to me no more because I do trust myself, which allows me to use a lot more discernment on who I give my trust to, right? And it does help because it takes a lot more stress off my plate. I don't have to worry about, oh man, is this gonna go down behind my back? Is this really, I don't even give a fuck no more because I look at this shit as a lesson. God is gonna teach me something regardless. If I put trust in this person and they hurt me, okay, God taught me something, but it'll hurt for a minute, but it ain't gonna shake me because now my connection is with him, right? And because my connection is with God, I really feel like some of the minor things don't really affect me no more. Some things do because of my level of care in certain people and certain things, but that's slowly fading away because it's like, okay, cool. It's all right. I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna land on my feet. Ever since I took this mindset, it's like I veered off from what happened today. I went into the chocolate store just to get the 85% chocolate. And I'm just in regular clothes. I'm just chilling. So the girl behind the counter, she was like, "Hey, I remember you." I was like, "What you mean?" She said, "You used to always come in here and buy the Dubai chocolate. You used to buy 4 at a time, and you would eat 2 standing here while talking to us." I was like, "Oh yeah, I did used to do that." She was like, "That was a year ago." I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "You haven't been in here since." I was like, "Nah, I've been working on myself, getting my body and my mind right." And she said, "You look fucking amazing." I was like, "I appreciate that. I know." And she was like, for old times, we do have these that we can just give away. I was like, I don't even really care for the Dubai chocolate no more. I was like, I only want the 85% because it's the best for what I'm doing. She was like, how about this? She gave me the 2 that I paid for, but she gave me 4 more, and then she gave me one of the 100%. And I looked, I was like, these expired. She's like, yeah, but it's not bad. She's like, I still got to sell them for like probably $2 or $3 less, but I'm just gonna give them to you. I was like, wow, you don't even know me. She was like, I just think you look good. I was like, oh shit, I appreciate that. And I went on about my way. Versus you being a fat fucker and you still talking and eating chocolate and they still making you pay for the other ones because they know your big ass gonna pay for it. Like, you're gonna live 2 different lifetimes in one body, and all you gotta do is change it. You are currently on this end of the spectrum to where you getting disrespected, you getting mistreated, you getting looked at as less than, and you basically fucking virtually invisible. But then when you shift that shit and you go on the complete other side of this spectrum in this game, people gonna hold the door open for you. People gonna let you speak last. People gonna wonder why you walking slow, and people gonna wonder why you seem so calm. People gonna just wonder a lot of different things about you, and it's cool. Even at Starbucks, chick named I think Hania or some shit. She looks like she got RFB, rest in bitch face, every fucking time we go in there. But when she see me and she see my boys, she start, hey, how you doing? She smiles. But then as soon as we move to the next in line, she just to the next person. I'm like, damn. So I actually had the balls to ask her today. I was like, why do you look so mean to everybody? But when me and my coworkers come in, it's like you light up and you smile. I put this on everything. This is a body game story. She said, my day got better when I came in and saw you smile. I was like, what you mean? She's like, you and Henry was laughing because she know we go in there every day. She know I get the green tea grande, Henry get the mocha with no milk, and Ahmad get the fucking blueberry muffin. And you got to put it in the oven because he particular as fuck. Ahmad's so picky. We go to restaurants. He'll order orange juice without the oranges. Like that motherfucker's particular, but a wonderful guy. She straight up said, "Your vibrance made me smile," and I was like, "Dang, that meant something," because I don't even be going in there thinking about that. I just thought that because my boy said something funny, I can laugh. And then when she saw me laugh, she was like, that changed something. I said, all right, cool. I understand. And your aura, it permeates onto other people. It just do. It's just one of those natural things. When and I'm working on this. When you can remain calm, steady, and stoic, when everything else around you is fucking in chaos and crumbling, you're gonna be a dangerous fucking man. Because that's a level of self-control like no other. And it all starts by putting down that fork and going to the gym. I'm not saying not to eat, because if you think not eating is going to get you your dream physique, you sadly fucking mistaken. It's going to make you worse off. You have to eat, but you have to watch your portions. You have to monitor. You got to weigh your food. You got to know what to eat. Whole foods, guys. It's easy. I'm actually going to do a video about what I eat, and it's so simple. Air fried salmon, air fried chicken. What other meats I got in there? Air fried shrimp, sweet potatoes, white potatoes, broccoli, blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, yogurt, honey. That's it. Oh, and rice cakes whenever I need it. That's it. That's all. Oh, and walnuts. I'm sorry. That's it. That's all. Get out of that mindset of that's just boring. You ain't got no variety. You know what else is going to be boring? You're going to be 65 years old, laid up in the hospital bed with diabetes and missing a leg and some toes and shit. And your kids or your grandkids around you in the hospital. But me, I'm going to be 65 years old, probably still fucking my back out, because I'm going to look good and I'm still going to be in the gym. And I'm going to be chilling with my grandkids, spoiling the fuck out of them, and doing what I do, because I'm still going to be a nasty motherfucker. It's Mr. Nasty time. And I don't give a fuck, because I'm still going to be in the gym. Like, this is who I am now, right? I done got to a point to where I'll go into the gym, I'll fist bump these folks, because we have a gym relationship now. All to do, hey, what's up, man? That's it. And they ain't got to speak a lick of English. Still fist bump me, because they saw me coming in there last year, and they saw how big I was, and then they see you put in the work. They gain a respect for you. Insecurities come from being out of shape, or they can come from some other shit that you ain't dealt with. But primarily for us men, when we are out of shape, insecurities run rampant. And it's something that we can't control. Reach out to me. Let's talk about that. I ain't trying to be, one day maybe I could get into this whole fitness coaching, but I think something is my calling completely different. And it's that mindset transition. Because once you could change your mind, lifting weights ain't shit. Eating right, it ain't shit. In the grand scheme of things, if you can't conceptualize it here, if you can't change how you think, if you can't change what you're thinking, that's where I come in. That's where I can help you, because I had to learn to do it. I had to help myself. And I got to say, I love it over here. I found so much peace in knowing that I changed who I am. At a molecular cellular level, it gets down to the nitty gritty. Can't shake a lot of your habits. You can't shake all your habits, because you still have to work. You still got to do the inner work. You still got to work on those things. And me writing down my feelings, oh God. Me actually talking in my journal, me actually reading books, shit is next level. And I want that for all the fellas. I want all the fellas to be good husbands. I want all the fellas to be good fathers. I want all the fellas to be good friends. That's why it's important that you surround yourself around good people, good men. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be up under your woman all day. You can't be up under a bunch of women all day. You need to be surrounded by other males that's influential, that's going to teach you something, that y'all can teach each other some shit. Healthy competition ain't bad. I love my boy Brandon to death. Don't get me wrong. When we get on that golf course, if we already agree we just working on some shit and ain't fucking around, you better believe we keep competing with each other, because we like to gauge our success and see how we both got in this golf game together. I mean, he became more than just my golf buddy. He became a brother, right? Just like Tony Drake. I was on his TikTok today. This man started my health journey back in 2023, and due to inconsistency and due to fucking lack of discipline, I obviously didn't complete the program, because I was still a fucking fat ass back in 2023, right? And I ain't making no fucking progress. I went to one group session. I went to maybe one or two little group meetings or some stuff, and I wasn't really locked in. I put the fork down for a month and a half, dropped like 12 pounds and thought I was doing some shit. Nope, didn't have the discipline to keep going, because that sushi was tasting too good. Those fried wings was tasting too good. And when you in the car business, you don't really like to get up out your desk. You like to order food and just eat. And you don't walk around that much. You don't see a lot of in-shape sales managers and finance managers. You don't, because they stuck behind the desk. The dollar becomes more important than your fucking health. Don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna badmouth the business. It was a choice. I wasn't mad at my choice. It taught me a lot about myself. But Tony Drake actually had, I popped in on his TikTok today, And I told him, like, bro, you're a true inspiration. But for him to add me into that and let me share some of my story with the people, it was like, damn, hey, bro, I got an idea. We're going to do this. I was like, what we going to do? And he came up with some good shit for us to do. And I feel like because I have gotten in shape, because I have gotten a new level of confidence, I do have a new level of how I look at shit, good things are fucking happening. You know, some opportunities are coming at me I can't talk about. I ain't gonna talk about it just yet until the deal is done. But guys, I got some major shit coming. And I didn't even know that these people was even interested in my book. But I ain't gonna go into detail. I just want to wait till the deal is done. And when the deal is done, I'm going to be promoting that shit. Just know it's coming. But all these good things are happening to me ever since I got in shape and I changed my mindset. Because it's not one of scarcity no more. Certain things hurt. I'll get over it. Because I'm definitely going to get over a lot of shit when I'm making an impact and doing what I want to do with my purpose. And my purpose, I feel, is to help other people and to change their lives. I'm not the type of mother, I swear to you, I ain't the type of motherfucker that'll hit a $300 million lottery and just disappear. Nope. I hit a $300 million lottery. I'm going to wait till them taxes taken out. I'm going to make sure I'm taken care of. I'm going to make sure my kids, my grandkids, and their kids are taken care of. But the most important thing I'm going to do with that money, I'm going to help bless others. Because what the fuck can I do with all that money? Yeah, I can be greedy. I can be like the Elon Musks. I can be like the Donald Trumps. Oh, let me just capitalize, take. I know people that's watching this, they true capitalists. That's your right, that's your thing. But me personally, I done had a lot of the shit that I don't want in my life. So why can't I be a blessing to others? I'm not doing a blessing for a blessing, but you just never know. Somebody could be on their last, and I'm sitting here living fat. But you don't know how you're gonna get your next meal. But you too prideful to say something because, you know, you got too much pride. Being on this journey taught me to let go of that pride. Being on this journey taught me to tame that ego. And being on this journey taught me to, most importantly, grow up. Pain to do that shit to you. That's how a man matures, through pain. And I had to mature. I'm still working on some things. But I'm going to be probably the strongest, most best version of this. And I already feel it brewing. I already feel it taking place. I love looking in the mirror now. I love putting on my clothes. I love talking to my kids. I love shit, man. I love just waking up and thanking God every day. I love seeing my mother, my father. Man, I'm starting to love the things that I used to take for granted every day. And it took for me to have to really grow up and see that. Money is cool. I'll make it back. I'll find a way. But my health has become way more important than any of those things. And most importantly, my relationship with God and my attachment to my purpose. I want all you fellas to get to that point. Don't let these insecurities fuck up your life. Get yourself in shape, man. Put down that fork, pick up a dumbbell. It's gonna help you in the long run. And while you helping yourself in that long run, don't play them fucking away games.